Lauren Hollows, and I am here with the lovely divine Miss Vanessa McCarthy of Prickly2Sweet. We're back, and we are in the post-Velg. Yes, we've mostly recovered now, so that was good. So we did have Velg this week. Both Vanessa and I attended.
We did.
It was really, really enjoyable, and I guess what we wanted to do first up was just to kind of give you guys an overview for those of you that weren't able to attend. What was on this year, what I think participants would have been able to have gotten out of it. So there was 5 sessions running concurrently, and I think that was
really difficult because there's so many you wanted to go to at the same time.
Yes, there was.
And there were some amazing new presenters that I hadn't seen before.
Yeah, actually there was. And I think the other thing that was really fantastic that was new this year was that ASQA was presenting. I think they ran 4. We had regulators running about 4 or 5 of the sessions over the entire period.
Yeah, and it wasn't the same person.
No, there was. I think it was pretty much different every time, actually.
Yes, yeah.
So that was really fantastic, and I think that it was probably the biggest face-to-face event that has happened post-COVID.
Well, previously I've been to sessions or conferences where they would be there, have a session for everybody, and then leave.
Yeah.
This time there was not only multiple sessions by them by different parts of ASQA, but because they had their stand and they were very engaging, that made a big difference, I think, for a lot of the participants.
Yeah, absolutely. So we had Saxon Rice giving her opening talk, but Kai and his team, I think about 4 or 5 people.
It was definitely 4.
Yeah.
Don't ask me to name them.
Were there for the entire of the conference. In speaking with ASQA, I think they had about 300 different inquiries and interactions with people through their stand. And they were talking about, they spoke on the new standards, they spoke on the new fit and proper requirements, they spoke
on the new line that they have.
Yes, on their new, kind of whistleblower sort of a line.
That's right. Yeah.
And, how much has already started coming in through that as well. And obviously they talked in and around the targeted risks priorities for 2023, 2024 as well.
When I was speaking to Kai from ASQA, he was actually mentioning that they are monitoring those calls to identify real significant data so that it can actually make action on data rather than just hearsay.
Yeah.
So it's not just about receiving the calls on that line.
Yeah.
So, no, it was a really good interaction, I thought.
No, I did too. I thought it was absolutely fantastic that, a lot of people could actually go to the booth, talk to them about their inquiries, put faces to the regulator, and especially at this point in time when there's so many new things coming on board.
Yes, with the new standards and everything, I think everybody is teetering on the edge of really a bit worried and afraid. And I think you mentioned that there was a lot of people that thought, oh, well, they're actually not as bad as they thought that they were. It's like, no, these are actual people and they're doing a job.
Yeah. And that was definitely the feedback that I got from it was, they're not so scary. I was like, no, they're really not. So I thought that was really good. There was a lot of great presenters. There was also, obviously, all of the booths were out there. I absolutely loved Hawkeye's booth.
Yeah, it looked very comfortable. I went and sat there and spoke to the ladies.
Absolutely. And I think that they probably had some of the cutest and funniest merch.
Yes. Accelerate were there and they had their lovely seat thing that you drive in.
Yeah, the VR. Yes. That was cool.
And there was another one beside them that also had a VR headset. And I watched that in action as well.
Not Mr. Wedge.
No, he was on the other side.
Yeah.
Sorry, forgive me, I can't remember.
We do apologise.
And that's actually one of the problems I find with a lot of conferences. There are so many things to see that I forget who it is that I spoke to unless I know them via their brand.
Yes.
And these conferences are good for those sorts of things, is brand awareness. But I must say, I'm not very good at remembering people's brand anyway.
Yeah, I did think that it was certainly a worthwhile experience for a lot of people in just being able to kind of see what was out there, like how many different providers were doing different things. Obviously, as per usual, I think there's like now probably about 20 different providers that
in the resource
fairly well kind of known in that particular section, and most of them were probably present at this event.
Yeah, I think that was well presented.
Yeah. There was quite a few of the big auditing companies. So, Matthew Dale from Audit Express was there, Angela from Vivacity, as I said, a Hawkeye consultancy, they were all there. RTO Works, EduWorks with their brands. So
there were some other government departments as well. So there was Copyright Australia was present again.
Yes, USI.
Yes, USI, ACO.
Yes.
And I think did DEWA have one as well?
Yes, DEWA had one as well.
Yeah.
So that was kind of, I guess, the value of going to Velg. And I mean, like, certainly I know that me and my team will be there next year. Vanessa will be there next year. I think the value of it is that you actually get to have a lot more interaction with a wider array of people than you would do. So, if you're an RTO and you're looking at going out and purchasing someone's resources, going to an event like Velg gives you an opportunity to see a whole different range of ways that those services work. So there were people there who specialized in just writing learning resources. There were people there who specialized in writing assessments. There were people there that did both. There were people who focused on, did you see that magic mapping?
Yes, I did.
Yes. So, there was, there's like a lot of online sort of ones that were focused in and around that sort of thing.
There's new CRMs out there too, or learner management systems as well. The Octashore was a brand new one that was there this year.
Yeah.
But I think the array inside the trade show exhibition area was very similar to the array of different speakers that we had.
Yeah.
And some of them were more interactive than others. And from feedback that I've received from people, the ones that were super interactive, like Pop Education,
yes,
and the one that you went to,
Audit Express, Kevin,
the more interactive, the more fun, the more you
got out of it.
Yeah, you actually get something out of it, the real PD, rather than just be sat and talked to.
Yeah, although I did notice a lot of the presenters this year were also doing more things like using audience interaction to get like feedback from like the slides and keywords and stuff like that. I thought some of the especially some of the ones that produced like the thought bubbles on the responses. I remember taking screenshots with my phone and going, oh, it's interesting that's what the broad scope of the, of 100 people in a room are sort of thinking.
And I think it depends on whether you're a presenter in an auditorium or a presenter in a room. I mean, your presentation on the AI
that was lecture style.
That was a lecture style.
Yeah.
But you did provide a lot of new ones that were out there, and that's hard to do because there are always new ones coming on. But lots of people I had heard from regarding feedback about your session. Here you go, here's some new stuff.
Okay.
It's like, oh, Lauren showed me this and I didn't know that was there, and that was really cool.
Yeah.
And it does tweak the concept that there was also Nancy did a cyberspace one.
Yes.
Cybersecurity, sorry.
Yeah.
And I think that probably could have been expanded. I think from Nancy was saying that she thought maybe more people would be in there.
Yeah.
But the problem with a lot of these sorts of 2-day sessions is that people get tired by the time the last session comes on. So Colleen Rivas,
Colleen Rivas,
did one of the last sessions.
Raspberry training.
Yeah, one last session on the last day, and it was all about reasonable adjustment and understanding about how you can make simple changes to have a huge impact for those who are less able than others, and that it's not a matter of, oh, well, if we do have to, maybe we should. It's actually, well, no, you do have to.
Yes.
You actually have to, and you are required by legislation and law to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think a lot of people were very surprised by that.
Yes.
But yeah, poor thing, had to do a last one.
Yeah. Props to Colleen. Well done. Like, I've done that slot before. It is I think Mark Ratcliffe had the same session as well.
Yes.
And I heard really good feedback from his session too. Both of them were also up against a regulator. And I thought anyone who went up against a regulator in those sessions, that was a real challenge as well. So there was a lot of, it was good to see a really nice breadth and depth. So, I mean, in addition to the PD, so anyone who came to Velg gets access to every session, and everything was professionally recorded. So I think that there'll be a lot of things over the next couple of weeks I'm going to definitely go back to and kind of watch the sessions that I knew I couldn't get to.
Oh, I definitely will.
Big, I think that's really what, I think if you didn't have that, the value, it would make it a lot harder, a lot more challenging.
I agree.
Knowing that you can go back and actually watch the sessions that you didn't get to. So you effectively get, 18, so there's 5 sessions and there's 8, so it's like 30 hours of PD.
Yeah, you can only be in one place at one time.
Yeah.
So those recordings are absolutely fundamental.
Yeah.
To part of the cost of the ticket.
Yes, definitely.
Just saying. I mean, what I would suggest that they do. I mean, kudos to Velg, who put on a very large conference. It is a lot of hard work for the team, and it's never going to be easy, and you're never going to please everybody. But I do think that if they had the regulators all just at one particular time in the morning in a mid, and then leave the rest so that everybody else can actually have a go, because like you said, if a regulator is on, it's very hard to get the rest of the audience to come up with something else.
Yeah. No, it was, I thought it was just, but it was great to see the regulators just doing so much as opposed to, at other events or, what they've been like in the past. While you're there on site, it's an opportunity to talk to people. So I know that for me, it was amazing to catch up with all of the other consultants and service providers. Very much felt like a reunion in a lot of ways.
I captured a few selfies.
You did?
But nowhere near as many as people that have actually saw that we did manage to get a selfie because they were already talking to somebody else. So it's one of those things that, if we have morning sessions before the conference that people can get together, or they have a big evening one.
They did.
I didn't attend this one. That did you go to that?
I did. We rocked up for a few hours. I think we bailed by about 7:30 because by that point, myself and the rest of the team had been there since 7:30 that morning. We were 12 hours into talking, and I was actually starting to go hoarse.
Yeah, I went to a much smaller dinner type drink session. Where you can actually have decent conversations with just a few people.
Yeah,
and that was much better for. Well, if you ever go to these conferences and you're a little bit like me, it's great to see everybody, but you need a little bit of time to recharge, because you spend so much time by yourself anyway most of the time. So it's very overwhelming and exhausting.
Yes.
So they're great, but you do need to sort of pull back. But definitely I would encourage anybody to go to any vet conference that is going on.
And especially if you're newer to vet, and so you're learning, like if you're currently at the moment going through a process of an RTO registration,
or getting your TAE.
Getting your TAE. If you're planning on running an RTO, being an RTO manager, anything like that, Velg is probably definitely one of the must-dos. And I mean, look, even if you're not comfortable going to all of the sessions, I know there was 1 or 2 sessions where I was like, I really want to see so-and-so. I really want to catch up with these guys. And so I opted out of a session so that I could literally just go around and talk to some of the different
I did that a lot.
booths and stuff like that, because I knew we were going to get access to those recordings afterwards. And I was like, great, this is an opportunity for me to actually catch up, and meet up with people face to face. I know the Accelerate crew, said it was just really awesome to put faces to customers, who they had.
Oh, yes, I had people come up to me because I'm not the users of the system, or the Prickly2Sweet system, and they called out to me, and I've gone, they have to tell me their name. And then when they did, you go, oh, I know who you are.
Yes.
So, but that was awesome to be present and being available to people to talk to.
Yeah. So definitely worthwhile. And certainly something that, if you are looking, if you're in RTO management, and you are playing that senior sort of a role, highly recommend that you look at, like a corporate membership or something like that, and certainly book your calendars next year. It will be in Brisbane next year on October 31st of November 1st next year.
Yes.
It will be a new theme, which I think is the vet equation. But it was definitely a worthwhile event. I felt like it was a really nice return to.
Yes, well, the theme was transformation, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so the transformation, there was like Lauren's one and Nancy's one about AI and cyber, and that was really good. But, the fact that there is a lot of changes still continuing throughout our sector, from changes to standards to changes to regulator activities to just general transformation into this brand new world that we're doing after COVID.
Absolutely. Yeah. And finding that balance of, face to face and online, and making all of that sort of stuff work. And I thought this was a great return to that.
Yeah. So if you did come out and say hello, that's wonderful. If you didn't say hello for whatever reason, please next time call out and say hello.
Absolutely.
Lauren and I won't bite.
Yeah. And do guys, like, you know, come and talk to us. If you ever see us around at any event, you know, even if you just want to find out a little bit more about what we do, you know, like we absolutely love, we're happy to jump on a Zoom with you and just tell you a little bit about the services that we offer and, you know, where things are at, or answer a quick question. Because pretty much the reason why we do these sorts of things is to build knowledge in the sector. That's our way of transforming.
Absolutely. Yeah. Having that impact, changing people's lives through knowledge.
Yeah. Absolutely. So that was that, guys. That's our little Velg wrap up. Great event. Thank you very much for allowing us to participate. We really enjoyed it. And our next one, we are going to be talking about some of those big changes coming into the sector, the new standards, the new fit and proper person, and our thoughts on that post getting a bit more information out at the Velg training session.
Yes. Can I just say one thing?
Absolutely.
After this will probably be before I'm going to go to the Perth Learn Tech conference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you see me there, this is afterwards. Thanks for coming and saying hello.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So when is that? When's that happening?
That's on I think it's either 29th or 30th of November.
This might come out before that.
Oh,
if you are going to be at the Perth, what's it called? The
Learn Tech.
Perth Learn Tech Conference.
Yes, I have a booth there, so definitely come up and say hello.
Go up and say hello. All right. Thanks, guys. My name is Lauren Hollows from NOI Education Services.
I'm Vanessa McCarthy from Prickly2Sweet.
Have a great day. Thanks.
Bye.